What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to the $10,000 EIDL grant stimulus update. Must watch. It is Sunday, January the 10th, 2021. Please do me each favor, give this video a thumbs up. Hashtag EIDL in your comments below. Copy and paste the exact title of this video and share it all over social media. And if you'd like to be one of 20 people that are going to win $500 in cold hard cash when I give away my full $10,000 EIDL grant, I ask that you please subscribe to this channel right now and make sure you hit the bell. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're literally hours away from getting an email from the SBA and seeing this portal go live by law tomorrow at the latest. That's the 15-day mark. So as the football games start to fly, I've got a question for my football fans. How many of you got the pregame jitters, right? We've been waiting 10 long months, many of us, to see this day come. And we're in the final hours. In fact, I got my queen on. You can see that. I got my queen on when I was in football, in high school in particular. But I also played through college, St. Lawrence University. The same school that Kirk Douglas went to. Big hockey school, but I played football. Quarterback in high school. Linebacker, free safety in college. But Queen was my favorite. We are the champions, no time for losers, because we are the champions of the world. He does a much better job, right? Freddie Mercury, a total legend. I wish I was playing that song right now. It's in my heart, though, I can tell you that. But I want to thank some people before I do a quick review and then let you get on with your Sunday before we get the rules. Thank you to almost 53,000 people who have stuck with me, many of you for almost 10 months. For those of you that remember, I applied for a grant on April 1st. They pulled my credit. I got the grant on April 22nd. I then got a loan several weeks later on May the 23rd. When I saw the June 10th Senate hearing and Ms. Carranza, who has been fired and will be replaced by Isabel Guzman in the next couple of weeks, say in front of the Senate committee when Big Ben Cardin, a friend of this show, who wants to wipe out the loan altogether so you don't pay the SBA a dime with respect to EIDL, when she said, upon his question, who gave you authorization to ration the grant at $1,000 per employee? Who gave you authorization to cap the loans at $150 and in the process destroy a lot of restaurateurs that I know in this country? She had no answer. Well, we thought we were going to run out of money. Didn't Ben just say they gave you $350 billion? She still didn't have an answer, right? He said, we just appropriated you $350 billion. They still have $125 billion of unspent EIDL loan money. So yes, more loan money's on the way. But when I saw that, it's taken me back to June 10th. Pissed me off. And I made a decision right then and there, ladies and gentlemen. As a single man who doesn't have any children, although I love kids, I'm willing to go down with the ship. I'm willing to stick my head in that guillotine and run the same fucking video, $10,000 EIDL, blah, 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 for 10 months. And in April, May, and June, before July 10th, when the EIDL for Small Business Act, known as S4227, sponsored by Jackie Rosen, who guaranteed 10 grand, pinned in the top comment, December the 23rd. Before that showed up in the Senate, co-sponsored by John Cornyn in Texas, I was taking unbelievable amounts of shit on Facebook in particular. But I said, I'm willing to go down in flames. I'll lose my own company. This is the most difficult, challenging, and yet rewarding experience of my entire life. I won the high school football championship for New York State in 1988 as a quarterback. The Indian River Warriors beat Port Byron 42-0. I can still remember walking on the Carrier Dome floor, coming out of the locker room at halftime. Whitesnake, here I go again. That was 1988. It feels like 5 minutes ago. Or when I built a gigantic house in Delray Beach when I was only 30 years old. And my mom, rest her soul, when she walked through those doors and she broke down in tears because her oldest son made it. I've had moments in my life, struggles, challenges, but none greater than this. This has been 10 months of Groundhog Day meets Lucy pulling the football out from Charlie. In fact, I'd like to introduce you to one of my friends. Charlie Brown's been a hero of mine since I was a kid. Before I grew into 6'3", 250, I was a scrawny little 10, 11-year-old kid, and walking to the bus stop was a nightmare. This guy got me through. My sister gave me this as a gift a few years ago for Christmas, obviously the wreath. But he sits up on a table in my kitchen. And I can't tell you how many times over the last 10 months I talked to this thing. I'm convinced he has a soul. And every time I felt like giving up, especially in the summer, he would channel that message I've given you guys from God. Stay strong, keep going. Stay strong, keep going. So every time I pass him to come down here to my office, I tap him on the head. I say, love you, Charlie. And he says, love you too. So if it wasn't for you guys and my good friend, Charlie Brown, we wouldn't be here today. Now, to the business of the people. Section 331 is the $20 billion for low income. There's no discrepancy, no disagreement anywhere. About 40% of you that fall under low income. You got fewer than 300 employees, and you can show an economic loss of 30% or greater. You're going to sail right through. The rest of you that I fall into as middle or high income, listen to me very carefully. Section 332 has $40 billion, in my opinion, not just 20. I realize I'm on an island. I've been on a fucking island since March. I realize that most of what I say is disagreed with or disregarded in the media as well. I realize that. But they haven't gone in the weeds like I have. They haven't read this bill that's now become a law 150 times. They're not talking to lawyers like Vitale and many others, including CPAs, et cetera, and congressmen and women in the staff to get the congressional intent that you could use as common sense. Like I have. For example, pin in the top, same things. Jackie Rosen sponsored S4227 that went into the Senate July the 10th. She still has, from December 23rd, the guaranteed $10,000 grant. Don't you think by now, being January the 10th, she would have taken that down if she was worried that Las Vegas, which is a middle-income city, wasn't going to get 10 grand or the balance thereof? A lot of these folks, with all due respect, they're not using their common sense. Steve Chabot, the pinned comment, the one-pager. He's the ranking member, aka chairman of the House Committee on Small Business. He clearly says $20 billion for low income and then a process to get 10 grand or the balance thereof. His office is in Lebanon, Ohio. Could he ever set foot there again if all those folks in middle to high income, his constituents, were going to get screwed out of 10 grand? But nobody wants to use their common sense in addition to what's in the bill. But this is a very important aspect, so you need to listen carefully. If you're in middle to high income, there is a chance the SBA is going to play games. So here's what we must do. As I said yesterday, 9 million applied. 5.7 million, call it 6 million, got a grant. 3.7 million got a loan. If you're in low income, which is 40% of you, and you can show that loss, you got less than 300 employees, you're going to fly right through. So at least 40% of you are going to be sitting with 10 grand 21 days or less from now. The rest of you that are middle to high income, if you're among the 5.7 million that got a grant, meaning the SBA checked your credit at Experian and they thought you were to be worthy of $1,000 per employee, I believe, as per Section 332, you're going to sail right through, provided you do exactly what I tell you. There is a line in Section 332, which again, I believe is $40 billion to get you 10 grand if they ran out of money, when you applied, or the balance thereof at $1,000 per employee. One of the lines says, quote, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's almost exact. The administrator shall pay, upon request from the recipient, you, the amount requested. In other words, are you going to request $1,000 per employee? No. You're going to request 10 grand if you're in middle to high income, or the balance thereof. So like I said yesterday, don't be jumping the gun. Don't be signing or checking any boxes until we read the fine print. Because the last time they tripped us up with the whole check here if you'd like to receive up to $10,000. Fuck that. It's check here to receive the full amount of 10 grand or the balance thereof. That's the only box that we're going to check. So please settle your jets. Cool it off in the first 72 hours that we get these rules. They're not going to run out of money. They've got a whole new stimulus package coming that includes more loan money equal or greater to the amount you already received. They'll add another $20 to $40 billion in February or March. They're not going to run out of dough in the first few days like some channels are telling you. They're just trying to scare you into buying, loading, or doing whatever the fuck they want you to do. I'm not charging anybody a dime, never have, never will. In fact, I'm giving away a huge chunk of money. All of my $10,000, whether I get it or not. That's a promise. So don't do anything stupid. If the rules come out tonight, I'm not coming back until noon to 3 p.m. By then, I will have read the damn thing 50 to 100 times. We'll get consensus from Vitali, JJ the CPA, Max Maher, Speak and See, Rod Squad. You know who they are. And if all of us are on the same page, even with guys like Meet Kevin and Purple Power, then we move forward. Then we'll check a box if it's absolute ironclad 10 grand or the balance thereof. If not, we're going to need to hold off and raise holy hell. And there's a possibility of that. So until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your loyalty, your commitment to this channel. As I said yesterday, I've left it all on the field. We couldn't have done anything more short of getting arrested. Believe me, someday I'll tell you the stories. So until next time, always remember, I love each and every single one of you. And thank you so much for watching.